Parents, when have you embarrassed your child? My 17-year-old daughter, Emma, got her first job at the local coffee shop last month. She was so proud, constantly talking about being independent and mature, finally making her own money like a real adult. For weeks, she'd been coming home with stories about her cool coworkers, especially this guy Tyler she obviously had a massive crush on. She'd spend an hour getting ready for each shift, practicing her casual laugh in the mirror, and asking me if her uniform looked okay. Last Tuesday, I decided to surprise her by stopping by during her shift to grab my usual latte, and maybe embarrass her just a tiny bit. What I didn't know was that she'd been telling all her coworkers her mom was this super successful businesswoman who travels constantly for work. Apparently, she'd made up this whole elaborate story about how I was rarely home because I was always flying to important meetings in different cities. She even said I drove a BMW, wore designer suits every day, and had my own corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows. I walked in wearing my rattiest gray sweatpants with a mysterious stain on the knee, fuzzy house slippers that were literally falling apart at the seams, and an old t-shirt with dried baby food on it from babysitting my nephew that morning. My hair was in the messiest bun imaginable, held together with what might have been a rubber band from yesterday's newspaper. Emma saw me through the window and her face went completely white, like she'd seen a ghost. Her cute coworker Tyler was standing right there at the register as I loudly announced, "Hi, sweetie. Mommy needs her caffeine fix before she falls asleep standing up." But it gets so much worse. I'd completely forgotten my wallet at home, so I started digging through my oversized mom purse looking for loose change. Pulling out expired grocery store coupons, half-eaten fruit snacks, random McDonald's toys, old receipts, and a broken hair tie while counting quarters on the counter like some kind of desperate person. Tyler, who was probably feeling bad for this complete disaster of a woman, offered to cover my $3 latte. That's when I spotted Emma behind the espresso machine and got genuinely excited. "Emma, oh, perfect timing. Can you make mommy's usual? You know how I like it. Extra foam, extra hot, with that little heart design you practiced at home in our kitchen." I said it loud enough for the entire cafe to hear. Every single customer turned to stare at this unfolding drama. Her manager, this hipster guy with a man bun and thick-rimmed glasses, looked completely confused and asked, "Wait, Emma, you actually know this customer personally?" Emma just stood there completely frozen as I cheerfully explained that I was her mother and how incredibly proud I was of her getting her first real job. I even pulled out my phone to show Tyler the baby pictures I still had as my wallpaper. "Look how cute she was. This is from her first day of kindergarten when she cried for an hour. And this one's from when she lost her front tooth and looked like a little vampire." Tyler was trying so hard not to laugh, while Emma looked like she wanted to disappear into the floor. Her manager kept glancing between us like he was trying to solve some kind of puzzle. Then I made it infinitely worse by asking if they had an employee discount for family members, and whether Emma had been telling them about my famous lasagna recipe that always burns on the bottom. The whole cafe was watching this train wreck unfold in real time. Emma finally managed to make my drink with shaking hands, probably hoping I'd just take it and leave quietly. Instead, I loudly thanked Tyler for being so sweet to cover my drink, told Emma I'd pick her up after her shift in my minivan, and announced to everyone that they should tip her well because she was saving for college. As I was leaving, I spotted a bulletin board and got another brilliant idea. I walked back over and loudly asked if I could post Emma's senior pictures on it so everyone could see how beautiful she was. She was homecoming princess, and she plays clarinet in the school band. So talented. Emma was making frantic hand gestures behind the counter trying to get me to stop, but I was on a roll now. Later that night, she texted me, "Mom, I told everyone you were a CEO who wore Prada suits and drove a BMW. You showed up looking like you hadn't slept in a week, called yourself mommy, and tried to put my senior pictures on their community board." Apparently, Tyler still brings it up during every shift, asking if mommy is coming by today to share more embarrassing stories. Emma now makes me text her before I go anywhere near her workplace, and she's seriously considering transferring to a different location across town.